Hello, everyone. It's Amber Carlton and Dave Lamfer from the Fargo-Moorhead Area Association of Realtors doing our first ever quarterly update. And this quarter, with all of the buzz of legislative session happening, that's why we have Dave here. He has been the chair of the committee heading up all the legislative stuff. So Dave, give us a little update. What's going on?
Well, it's been a very interesting session. NDAR had one bill that was our bill, and that was fixing the seller disclosure bill. So it would include all sellers of units 4 and under residential units. And it passed through the Senate really easy, got to the House, and suddenly it all changed with including land and commercial and things known but should have been known by the seller. So problematic in many ways. That passed the House, and now is going to go to our conference committee to see if we can find a middle way on that. Our biggest concern is just that all buyers deserve to have a seller's property disclosure. That's just so important for the consumer at that point. Then we filed a couple other bills, Amber, and one is who knew? It's about pore space, and I didn't even know what that really was until this session. And it's about space underneath the surface land where they can store byproducts from the oil industry. And so who owns that, and who has the rights to get profit from that or royalties from that? And as you can expect, the oil people think they should have the right to do that because they got the oil, and the landowners think a little bit differently on that. So it's kind of been going back and forth, and we don't really know where that's going to land at this point. There was also a bill, and we were used to that in Fargo-Moorhead in West Fargo, about a new construction reduction in your real estate taxes.
Okay.
So somebody out of Valley City brought forth a bill that said 5-year abatement, up to a 5-year abatement, and $250,000 as the point. And we actually sided more against that because we have 2 years and we think that's perfectly fine and it's working really well. And this was a very specific bill aimed at Valley City. Nothing against Valley City, but they could do the 2-year abatement in the current law on that. So I don't think that's made it through on that. And then there's been a lot of side bills about hunting rights, electronically marking them, and they did a test site over the last 2 years, and that seems to go really well. So they're going to expand it this year. So, but other than the disclosure bill, we haven't had very many. We've monitored a lot of bills, but really nothing that would really directly affect our business or the consumer at that point. Because really, most of our legislation is we want to be consumer friendly when we're doing our business. Oh, and the other thing they did was they cleaned up all the real estate commission language in the Century Code, which allows some great freedom. Just clean it up from years and years ago for that. So yeah, other than that, pretty good session. We meet weekly at noon on a Friday, and I just want to thank everybody who shows up to that, because that is kind of a commitment in the middle of your day on Friday, and we've had really good turnout on that. And I kind of want to give kudos to Gloria Connor and Tricia Schlosser. They testified on behalf of our bill for disclosure with written and in-person testimony. So I really thank them. That's a really big commitment to take your time to going on a Zoom and not knowing when you're going to be called on or all of that. So
Absolutely. Their testimony was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I think it speaks well that with the variety of people that we deal with, there's great unity on the group that meets together. I don't find as the chair, I don't find I'm having to steer it at all, not that I would anyway, but we just come together with a consensus, and it's really that's really good, because I think that's how we should do it anyway.
Absolutely, and that's members all throughout the state that usually
Right.
meet on Fridays.
We have Williston, Dickinson, Minot, Bismarck, Grand Forks, and Fargo.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the summary, Dave. I know it was the quick and short of everything going on, so if anyone ever has questions, feel free to reach out to Dave or anyone at the association, and we can help you answer those questions.
Thanks for the interview today, Amber. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care.